Hey everyone, how are you doing? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm going to be bringing you a very interesting message that came through. And I really feel that there are a growing number of you that are also feeling, a kind of way when it comes to receiving messages from upstairs. If you've got your guides or you're connected to, so-called ET contacts and so-called spiritual guides, etc. But what was coming through was a situation. Now, what I'm going to say, just take what resonates, really take what resonates and leave the rest behind, because I do feel that there's going to be like a trigger where many people will feel that, no, that's not true, that's not right, I've never had that experience before, blah, 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 blah. But you see, that was back then. And there are a lot of things that are happening now where the veil is lifting, practically gone. There's been so much energy that's been coming down from Source, the sun, the Schumann resonance has been kicking off like crazy. And there's a lot of people that are now really starting to feel and sense and have this inner knowing that something really and truly is not as what it seems anymore. And there's a shift. Okay, now let me explain with these cards. So there's a knowing. It's like they know that you now know that there's been some kind of deliberate misinformation given that you previously probably weren't aware of before, but they know that you know now. And it's almost as if like to say that, I'm getting this Wizard of Oz, at the end, and, Toto sort of like pulls back the curtain, and there you see this so-called wizard, this controller of a reality that's like been hoodwinking people. So with the Two of Wands in the upright position, and this person has the world in their hand, there's a feeling of this representing, I'm not saying the entire alien race up there of all of them, okay? Only those that would be, it's coming to you that there's something, that you're not really being given the full story. And what you were told, and, or before, or it felt like it was a fob, fobbing you off with like, oh, you'll figure it out for yourself, or, you're here to learn something. And it's like, I don't know about that. It just feels as if I'm being gaslighted here. But the thing is, there's a feeling of some kind of message that's coming down. And it's like, they know. And with regards to the Ten of Pentacles and the Tower card, there's something that has totally shifted in terms of where certain dimensions are concerned. So you've got like a lower dimension, then you've got a higher dimension above, and you've got this space in the middle. That's how I'm seeing the Ten of Pentacles. And the thing is, because of this awareness, this deep intuition that you've been really feeling lately, this deep alignment, really going, full alignment in source, it's kind of like you bypassing, transcending above all these middlemen. And to me, it was kind of giving me, the way how I was receiving the message, it was as if they were kind of giving me this charlatan energy, right? Similar to what goes on down here with certain sort of pastors that have been exposed, these so-called mega churches and stuff like that, and they're kind of supposed to be preaching the word of God from a Bible, but then they're doing other nefarious things, at the same time. But there's a growing sense that your awakening is now revealing that they're not as upright, righteous as you once had them, where you would have had a reverence for them, like maybe looking at them or looking up towards them in awe, or really feeling this wonderful love and light, wonderful, 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 happy camper type energy. But something has shifted, and all is not what it seems with you. And what I see going on here with the Queen of Cups and the Hermit in the reverse, it's almost as if to say, hang about. Why am I getting this impression that my spirit guide, my so-called spirit guide, is actually coming at me like as if they're my handler? And instead of guiding me, they're kind of more like controlling me. So they're containing my awareness and my ability to become really and truly sovereign, as well as controlling my remembrance of myself, of my true power, of who I really am. Why do I get this feeling that me and them are not on the same page? So when it comes down to the Ace of Pentacles now, with the Knight of Pentacles, now this to me represents realism. There's a reality here, but there's also a direct alignment with Source. Okay, so it's the hand of God, etc. But this to me represents a direct alignment. What you're getting from here, from Source, you're receiving it. But there's also non-interference between any other sort of so-called spirit guide, so-called ET guide. They're out of the picture. They're knocked out. They've been kicked out. And it's just literally between you and Source. And you've gone from the Queen of Cups now into this Knight of Pentacles energy where you're all about protecting yourself. You're very wary now. You're very much aware of some Mickey Mouse bullshit. And with regards to the way how you are now connecting with your spirit guides, this is now the kind of energy that is kind of like becoming and feeling more apparent to you. You're not just going to go and take any little thing and every little thing that they say without first analysing it and hold on a minute. Let me just process this first. Let me just get grounded here before I start running in and believing everything that you say or what you were saying before, because something's happened and I'm feeling it in my heart that what you've been telling me doesn't seem to be mathing here. And then we have the World card in that right position. So something has definitely changed. And look at that. As I'm just pulling the card away, we've got the Judgment card. There's some kind of awakening here that something doesn't seem to be right with this connection anymore between you and your so-called spirit guides and so-called ET guides. Something does not add up. And I feel that there's going to be an even much more growing number of you that are going to be really and truly saying, you know something, yeah, thanks for, the contact or whatever, but I think I'm going to go directly to Source on this one. And you expect the truth to be given to you, the divine truth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And by rights, if you are getting contacts by these so-called alleged guides, these alleged spirit guides that want to pop in and pop through, because I know that you're waking up and your frequency is increasing, they have to, by divine right, divine law, be truthful and honest with you. And if you're demanding that and you're not feeling that you're getting that, you could just push them out, you can just kick them out from your field. And so that you want to just deal with Source directly. No offense to these lot, they can still have other people that's going to be, yes, love and light and all that shite. That's fine, it's not a problem, not judging. But something has changed now where, because of everything what's been going on, because of everything that's been revealed, this place doesn't really feel like, as they say, Earth is like a school anymore. Or the fact that we chose to come down and we chose this, we created this. And we're here to learn. It just feels like gaslighting, mind manipulation, the war on your unconsciousness, but also the war on your remembrance, the war on your connection, your direct connection with Source. Something just does not feel right. And they know that you know. And it makes them feel uncomfortable now to even deal with you. And got to be said, it's coming like it's these so-called benevolent beings as well. Because I know that you're not going to really mess about and that with the usual regressive ETs, but there's something profound and unfolding with these so-called benevolent ones. All right. Let me just get a couple of. Whilst I've got this deck here, I need to get it from me. What's going on with the Two of Wands? I know that you know. Hold on. Two cards. First up, we have got the Justice card in the reverse. And to me, this represents an abuse of power, an abuse of a position. This is hierarchy. You know, at the end of the day, everything is temporary. Even what they have up there is temporary. They may think that at the moment, in the moment, they have this sort of right to be part of a council and this and the other, and they've got all of the decisions that they're making upon the people of this planet Earth. But it's a temporary position. You're not there to hold on to it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Eventually, you yourself is going to get returned back to Source. So don't act as if you're going to be up there all high and mighty and you're holding on to this power, because to me this is like an abuse of power. You want to hold on to it. And the next card, the thing is, they know that you know this. The next message, the next card that wants to come through. You're turning your back on them. You're turning your back on them. And they know that because you see them. You kind of see things more clearly. And also, even though it's from a distance, you can still pick up on their energy from the Queen of Cups. But it's like you're turning your back on them. So all is not what it seems upstairs. All isn't what it seems up there at all. And there's this, as I'm speaking, as I'm talking about that, both my, especially my right ear, is starting to burn. Let's close out this quick energy reading with the inner temple. Because the more that you keep going within, and you're really resonating, you're really, really going in, you're really tapping in, and you're starting to feel a kind of way, you have every right to feel the kind of intuition that you're feeling. And not to have anybody to try to manipulate you in any kind of way to make you think that you're here to learn something. Because, and they're up there, would they ever want to come down here into this plane of existence to experience what you've been experiencing? Would they give you an honest answer, or would they totally ignore you at all? Or would they totally change the subject? And if it's any of those things, or it's a thing of, oh no, it's for you to learn anything down here, then if it's good enough for me, then it should be good enough for you, right? And if you're not getting any kind of response from them, and all of a sudden they just change the whole conversation, there's your red flag. So let's see what message that we get. We have got unhookable. So you can't be fooled anymore. You can't be hooked onto any kind of, way of thinking, or they're trying to sort of make you or corral you into a kind of path that you feel within yourself, it don't feel right to me. You're guiding me, or are you controlling me? What is it? Right? The next card, next message, we've got the Scene, because you're seeing them now. As I said, the veil is practically gone. And I'm very certain that when you're having your dreams, or your sleep time, or when you're having your meditation sessions, you're seeing things a little bit more clearer. And they're not what they seem to be. The next card, the next message that I've got is Destiny Life. For some of you, you may feel that they're trying to control your destiny, like destiny swap and stuff like that. So you need to be really on your guard here. Really, really using heavy discernment. Because there's something about the way how they're desperate for this type of scenario on this planet, in this, so-called reality, to continue, this simulation to continue. Because it's lucrative, it's business, there are deals going on. Like, what's going on up there, right? And this whole idea of you having to, this reincarnation bullshit, it just feels, again, like, all is not what it seems up there. At all. The next card that I've got, Masculine. And this feels to me as if like you're really taking like control. Your willpower is becoming more stronger, and it's becoming more difficult for you to be controlled. Because I feel that the more that you're connecting back with Source, you're able to really and truly be in your I am kind of energy. And I'm not saying it to be like, oh, egotistical and all that stuff. But no, this is about sovereignty. This is about you standing in your sovereignty. Because one minute they say that, they're kind of like, they're there to guide you and everything. But then if you're asking certain questions, or you're finding yourself in certain situations that's becoming even more pressurized, why would you really want to go through something that's even more pressurized? If you've already learned something, why would you need to relearn it again, right? And the card underneath the bottom of the deck we have got is Chamber of Power. As I said, your willpower is becoming uncontrollable. They can't hook into you anymore the way how they did, because while you're getting a direct alignment with Source, you're becoming the powerhouse. You're becoming really and truly an unstoppable force. And they know that you know, because you see them in a way. And I really don't feel that there's a lot of these, again, the labels, so-called starseeds. I just feel even these labels just feel too 3D. There's something about, But anyway, we'll just use it just for reference. That not many of these so-called starseeds are going to be sort of like feeling this way, because some of them are still, in the Happy Camber love and light stuff and that new age. But with you, whoever's aligning with this reading, that's not you at all. You're pulling away from it because you know, and it's in your guts, in your mind, in your heart, that whatever is being said to you does not feel that it is the right thing. All right, so that's what I've got for this reading. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And, you just keep on working on yourself, grounding yourself, shielding yourself, and never stop aligning with Source. Forget about all of these lot. You make sure that you always keep aligning with the prime creator of all. And then you'll be all right. All right, take care. See you in the next reading.